Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. Today we're looking at Rush here in the bottom right, the most consistent Terran player in the ASL, and a player that didn't quite make it into ASL, but I'm very excited about. I've been casting a lot of his games lately. Cal. I'm actually kind of sad. You know, I had some audio issues the other day, being a user of computers. Occasionally you wake up and you haven't done anything and all of your audio is wrong. Having not touched the computer at all, of course, I knew that the computer gnomes had completely screwed me over. I tried to cast a game. It was an awesome game between Cal and Sharp. Really fantastic game. But the audio was so jacked I had to throw it out, and I don't recast games. So there's nothing more painful than trying to recast something you already know what happens in it. Anyways, you know, that was one of the better Cal games I've seen so far. It was a great game on Eclipse against Sharp, and I'm hoping he can show another good one here against Rush. You know, he made top 4 in one of the ASL qualifiers, which I think is pretty good for having come back and not being in full form. But the more interesting thing is he just plays differently, especially, well, we've casted a few, like 2 of his PVZs and I think 3 PVTs. Haven't really run into any of his PvPs yet, but I feel like, yeah, he actually had some interesting stuff he was doing in Protoss vs. Zerg as well, but his Protoss vs. Terran definitely looks different from other players, which is kind of exciting. Like I said in the past, he always kind of reminded me of a Terran player playing Protoss. But we'll see what it's going to look like here. Cross spawn Nexus first on Radeon, so a great start. Rush is going for a gaseous expand, so it's pretty comparable. It'll make a pretty even position. It really just kind of depends on which Nexus first Cal ends up going for. Is it going to be 1 gate, 2 gate, or Forge? And that will kind of dictate exactly what the lead or lack of lead looks like. Like if you do a 2 gate and make 2 zealots immediately, Rush will probably actually be slightly ahead, and anything else, Cal will probably be slightly ahead. Anyways, Rush going to go ahead, come down here, make his command center. Obviously, it's going to be just a little bit later than Cal's Nexus. You know, what is that, 30-40%? Done as the command center starts, but pretty standard stuff. And he did it off 1 depot, so it is the greediest, basically, that you have. Of course, command center first is not really a thing in this match. We did see players doing it for a little bit, but it's incredibly, incredibly risky. So anyways, the probe comes down and sees a single Marine and gets pushed back, so Cal doesn't have real intel as to what's going on. He is going for a 2-gate variant, but we'll see if he makes zealots. Because what you're looking for here is Protoss sometimes will cut probes to make sure they have enough to stop a rush. So if they're cutting probes, that's where the Nexus first could actually be behind as far as worker count goes. It just, it kind of matters. You know, everyone kind of has their own build order for this. It's not like one thing is correct. It's more of like, what do you think is going on? What have you scouted? All that stuff. So Rush actually gets up and scouts. He did already start a bunker, and he is going to let that one finish. He cancels that Marine, which is a really good choice. And generally with this type of gases expand, if you sit on 2 Marines in a bunker, you can afford your first 2 factories really on time. So that'll be nice for him. And as he gets up here, yeah, it's a single zealot. So, you know, the probes slipped a little bit here. You did get a tiny supply block. 2 Dragoons already on the way, but you can see their worker count is pretty close to even. In fact, Rush even jumps up a little bit. So yeah, there was, because he wanted to start his 2 Dragoons on time to make sure if a rush comes, he's fine. His probe production did suffer just slightly there. Instead of being ahead, you know, maybe 3-ish probes, he's down a couple right now. So yeah, playing a little bit safe, but Rush right now with the 2nd factory started. SCV just kind of evacuating the area. No sense in just letting that die. Robotics here going up for Cal. And we'll see if he wants to go for, you know, the full suite of Reaver and Observer, or possibly just Observer. It looks like based on the 2nd gas, I would imagine it's going to be Reaver and Observer. Probably with shuttle speed as well. That seems to be something that Cal is into right now. And on Rush's side, you know, he scouted the 2-gate. And not a whole lot else. I would imagine he's going to go Armory Academy, but it doesn't... Oh! Starport, where is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Okay, so this is a very cool build. I would say a year and about 8 months ago, I want to say stuff like this was really, really popular. There was like this time where we had a lot of 2-fact pushes with a very late drop coming in from a funny angle. So what you do is you make some siege tanks, you get your Vulture upgrades, you push out like you're pressuring like normal. And as you're pushing out, what is Protoss supposed to do? Well, they're supposed to bring their units forward and fight you a little bit and make sure that you don't just push down a small portion of their army. So what you do then is you slip a few Vultures into a dropship and you drop those somewhere in the Protoss base while they're dealing with your siege tank marine Vulture push. So it's definitely like a really strong strategy. I actually think it's one of the best overall like strategies that there is, because it's like probably the most tactical full. I actually don't even, I'm not sure if this is a proper word, but like, you know, tactics are very, very important in StarCraft. Like having good tactics to get something done. So like this has more different tactics that could come up. It's like every single time you do this build, it looks a bit different. It's like you have to feel out a lot. Oh God, what was that? All right, gonna lay some mines here and kind of be a little bit annoying. He's gonna find a quick third. But like, yeah, basically there's a lot of potential with this as Terran. If you're pushing out, you're kind of keeping, excuse me, you're kind of keeping them busy, but it looks like it's just going to turn into a Vulture drop. Like he didn't try to do a push out as well. Honestly, I think it just works a lot better if you, like, there was only 2 goons here and you saw the other goons up here. If you just send this stuff, it works a lot better. Like, you don't have to send it all the way up here, but if you send it here and hit the goons and he sees you moving forward, then like his attention is drawn to the side a bit more. But right now, Cal actually, even without that push out, just doesn't have anything in position. A couple of Vultures dropped into the natural here. Rush does lay a mine. You know, each mine you lay is like 1 less probe that you're going to kill, generally. Well, not always, obviously, because it can like slow your opponent down from coming in, but yeah, he is going to get a decent amount of kills. Remember, he was up 2 workers before. I didn't keep track of that the entire time, but now he's up 7. And only loses Vultures for that, keeps the dropship alive, so that's really, really good. And a bunch of factories will be added back at Rush's base. So everything looking pretty good for Rush, but Cal's position is still okay. You know, he's got his 3 Nexuses, so he can reprobe really quickly. It looks like he's going into Arbiter tech, and he's already got, like, Observer out and everything. Yeah, there's the Arbiter Tribunal, and it looks like Rush is just going to make a 3rd base on location. And that's actually the best thing he could do right now. You know, his drop came in and saw that there was only 2 gateways and saw that he was full tech. This is literally all the tech, right? What are we even missing here? We're missing the support bay for Reavers, and we're missing the fleet beacon for carriers. But it's like all 3 tech routes represented, 3 bases, and only 2 gateways, so you know you can't really be attacked. So it's a perfect time to just start your Nexus despite having a very small army. Or start your command center, rather. So yeah, I think that this is... it looks really good for Rush right now, but it's not at all unplayable for Cal. Like, he is going to have some potential here. You know, just going into Arbiter in general is like, okay, well, you know, you're gonna have to definitely make some good moves with your massive army and decide like what you want to utilize the Arbiter for. Are you going to try a recall? Probably not recall first. This should probably be stasis first. Yeah, he's adding a lot of gates right now. It has to make sure he gets legs. He is getting observer speed, which is cool to see. Getting ready for another Nexus up here. He's actually looking for that starport. He knows that it should have been up in his main somewhere. So yeah, the Zealot gonna find the control tower, whatever. A couple Vultures trying to run up, not gonna find their way in. And double armory as well. So, you know, obviously we're in this kind of like inactive state in the game. Both players open pretty greedy. Rush got a bit of an edge with his Vulture drop. But both players just kind of expanding and building out their production right now. Which, you know, this happens. This is like, when you get into a position like this, this is, I think, where smart optimizations are like the most important thing. Like I mentioned, like the speed of making this command center, when you recognized how much tech his opponent had, very, very good. That's the type of thing that will like take your lead and keep it. I like that he's laid a ton of mines in here. This looks fantastic. He's utilizing those Marines as best he can. Throwing down some additional missile turrets. It is stasis first for Cal, who's adding a ton of gateways, and he does have his 4th Nexus up. He is making his 5th Nexus. He wants to make sure not to sacrifice army. Rush right now is just on the 6 factories and adding more, but he does have upgrades going as well. This is a really good looking game here. Like, something decisive could occur, but this is a game that looks to me like there's a very good chance that this goes big. 3rd add-on, love to see it. Double forges are going here for Cal as well. Let's check what his upgrades. Just 1 right now and just 1 as well. So they're both going to get up to 2 ones. Similar times, a little bit quicker there for Rush. And Cal has 5 base. So I think here, if he focuses really heavily on unit production, making sure that he has the right gateway counts. Yeah, he has a 2nd Stargate coming up. He has, again, recall. He's given himself the tools that he needs to kind of hold on against everything. A lot of mines being laid. Russia's prioritization is really, really good. Well, obviously, he's like... there's arguments that he's the best Terran in the world. There are definitely arguments for that. Moving a lot of units into the main base here. Doesn't quite have that range upgrade yet on the Goliaths. This is a very good spread. The one thing I do not want to see from Cal is an attack here. He needs to get this base mining. And look, he's thinking about 6 base on the other side. This is really good play. But if he attacks, that's going to be very, very bad. There's not a possibility to break this. I guess if he happened to stasis this, then the army becomes very small because this is all grouped up. But the odds of that are like almost 0. Like, he doesn't see this. He doesn't know that that's there. That would be so lucky to randomly fly in there. Yeah, double Arbiter production. I love this move. This is one of my favorite moves at this stage of the game. Now, he might use this to move out because he knows that there's a whole group of goons that aren't here. So that type of situation, like if you can get them to go chase something like that, that gives you a move out timing to take your 4th base. Or to do an attack if you really want to do an attack. I don't feel like this is a great attack timing, but maybe he does. There's a million gates up here for Cal. Great to see. Dude, I will tell you guys, like, I'm sorry if I'm boring you with Cal games, because he's definitely not the best Protoss in the world right now, but I think he's going to be one of the very best Protoss really, really soon. The way I'm watching him play, it's so methodical, it's so smart. Like, he's doing this just right. He's doing everything just right. Okay, a recall goes off at the natural, and that'll get cleared up pretty quickly. This was not a very good recall. So, it felt like that was too Dragoon heavy. And when you recall the natural, it's like the hardest place to get out of and move to somewhere else. Generally, if you do a suicide recall, what you want to do is make sure that you have enough zealots in it that you kind of kill every turret. It like has to do with like splash damage, and the DPS is really high and stuff like that. It's easier to kill your Dragoons on the fringe bases, and it's easier to kill clear zealots in the main. I actually have never spoken that, but as I'm casting, I'm like, yes, this is 100% what I run into and what I find difficult to deal with and what I see do a lot of damage. Now, Cal is remaxed like immediately, but not all of his units are out. So he's bringing those down right now. Oh, that was an okay stasis because he gets the science vessel that was really high energy, so that's kind of nice. Okay, he comes in and gets a decent size storm, starts to run up towards those tanks. Does he have enough zealots to actually get in there? Okay, he gets another very good size storm right there. Does not have another spell here. He needs to pull back. He just does not have enough to deal with those tanks. But, okay, how many factories? So we're actually only on 7 factories. Rush does have to be careful. He just took like a very good fight. I'm getting chills right now. This is actually really exciting because that was a really good fight for Rush. And if I'm Rush, I'm like, okay, this game's going fine. But if he tries to attack with just tanks, he'll be in a lot of trouble. So here, in my opinion, you have to just rally out more and kind of go towards Remax, and then the quality of your army is going to be unbelievable. If you lose these tanks, the game gets kind of reset and Cal's ahead. But if you maintain all these tanks, because he basically didn't lose tanks, and then Remax, your tank percentage will be way higher than the first time, and the damage of your army will be way better. So I think this is basically perfect play from Rush. Rush has put out a phenomenal game. I know I've focused a lot on Cal because I'm just so excited about having him back in the scene, and the way he's playing things looks really good. But this play from, I'm like, non-stop chills are going over my body right now about how good Rush is playing. I'm like, damn, I want to play like this. This is so awesome. Now, Cal is going to just start seesawing a little bit, right? Like, he's going to go over to this saw. He's going to seesaw. He's going to Marjorie Daw this up, guys. Let's go. He's going to try to hit this bottom right. He's just drawing Rush around a little bit because he doesn't have a lot of other moves that he can make right now. This center area is not really attackable. He is going to try to set up down here. He has the Nexus up. Oh, it looks like he wants to do a recall possibly here, but this is pretty well defended. He can maybe get a good amount of SCVs, but I don't think you're going to kill the base, and you're definitely going to lose the whole army pretty grossly. There's like a lot of mines in here. Vulture's actually running past to catch all the probes at this base at that time. Actually, if he had targeted this a little bit more heavily, I think he's just busy doing some other stuff, and he lost quite a few probes down there, but he's still got 70, so that's fine. If he had picked this off, that would have been like pretty huge. Now he is macroing up again really, really quickly. Lots of zealots coming out. What's his Dragoon count look like? It's not super great. 8 goons right now. This is an attack timing for Rush. Pretty sure. Now, he's actually bringing Arbiters over to the side for more recalls. Yeah, this is very, very good right now. All right, the Zealots are going to run up and clear some of these mines and everything. Obviously, the bunker just buys time. It doesn't really deal damage there with no upgrades. And he forces the lift off. The mining of Rush is not super fantastic right now. He's out of minerals, getting very low. Yeah, he has his 4th base. It's actually not that good saturation. And he had to fly away his 3rd. So he's going for a counterattack. And this is where the game's going to get decided, is this counterattack. If the counterattack can clear the top left, then Rush should be able to win. And another recall. Not the best recall. He recalls in the main base, and it looks like mines kill most of it, and it wasn't even that big. So kind of a very small recall. Rush going to clear the natural. He's going to clear the 3rd base easily. It is hard to go up the ramp. He may want to just skip that and kill this base and try to rotate around. But Cal is making this a nice dirty game at the moment. A lot of units being made at that top right. Yeah, he's clearing the Nexuses super, super fast. You know, if that Nexus was still up, I would actually say I think Cal's going to win. I do think Rush is going to be able to take this because he's just like kind of controlling and blowing up a lot of the map. There's like one really important thing he has to watch out for is losing this army to the units coming out of top right. So Cal needs to bring all these units down. If he can crush this group of tanks, maybe there's still a chance. The thing is, this is his only mining base. Yeah, Rush only has one as well, but, you know, Mech is just going to be a bit more cost-efficient than Gateway units. Dude, this is a big army from Cal. Even though Rush is up in supply, down 24 probes, so he's actually, like, basically max, but it's only Gateway man. So running in right now, he's got great upgrades at 3-2. The Zealot's going to get on top of the tanks. Rush is going to lose every single tank here for sure. So this is a bit of an issue. The main problem for Cal here, you might be able to run a few away. The main issue for Cal here is he's just not mining very much. So even though he took that really fantastic fight, where do you go from there? If Rush backs up and just kind of spreads his siege, he can retake this really easily. I mean, I guess as Cal, you can try to take another Nexus. He is coming down the ramp now while he's flanking, so he's going to be able to clear this army as well. But he just can't refill this is the main problem. And in fact, bringing up to kind of like pincer the flank, I guess. Nice move right there. Finally, Rush is going to start remining the space. Yeah, I think Cal's just about out of options here. If he had one more, like I said, if he had one more mining base, like if these vultures hadn't rotated down here, this would have been Cal's game. If he had 2 bases mining during this, yeah, he would win this. Not going to be the case, though. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Shoulda, woulda, couldn't. More like. Ooh, he actually gets it. Nice. The shuttle's been empty forever. I keep checking. I'm like, what is that? Is it you getting ready for a recall? All right, a few tanks coming up here with a lot of vultures. Yeah, he has enough units to maybe clear this once Psystorm's ready. Oh, he actually stasis the ramp. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. But again, not really mining that much. He does have this Arbiter. I'm not sure what this was doing. If he can set up a recall there, I mean, yeah, I guess he slows the base. Kind of a crazy position. I do find myself wishing there was like a Nexus being made. Because like, it feels like the game is just continually coming to a head right now. Whereas if a Nexus is being made, I'm like, I don't know, this could normalize again. We could get into like, you know, maybe it goes 38 minutes, but this feels like a game that's going to go 25 max. Because it's like, yeah, something's going to happen here. Like if he could blow up this army and this army suddenly and then sweep down here, okay, that can become a Cal victory, but that's about it. All right, good storms. Yeah, I don't think anything here is enough, though. Brings forward his Dragoons under the cloak. He does have a big army over here. I don't know that he doesn't really have a recall energy. Oh, well, there's the recall energy. He did have one down here at least. So he stops mining at that third base again. But it looks like he's going to end up losing this Nexus, which means literally no income at that point. And like from there, you're going to get cleaned up by spider mines, if nothing else. Sending his zealots, I think he realizes the last chance is to also get rid of this base right now and get him to 0 mining. And that was just a move command that he utilized to get over there, so that's not going to end up working, unfortunately. It looks like Rush is going to close it out. But that's a good high-quality game. That's a good game right there. Again, sorry for casting so much Cal lately, but I hope that I am getting you guys excited because just having this guy back this active, I think he'll be in ASL next season. And the thing is, he's not one of these guys where, like, for instance, I've been casting a lot of Skay where it's like, yeah, I don't know, maybe he can become a regular. Once Cal's to that level, he'll be in there like every season, pretty much. Like he's. Well, maybe not every season, because that's like really hard. There's only like a handful of players that do every season, but you know what I mean. Like he's someone with a ton of tournament experience already. So anyways, very fun game. Great job by Rush. Honestly, a great job by Cal. That was a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Guys, I wanted to add this in actually at the end. I was looking through the gameplay for like a good thumbnail. Look, 7 missile turrets firing on this Arbiter. It like reminds me of like the orc that went to like blow something up in Lord of the Rings and just runs through everything. I thought you might enjoy that. Leave a comment if you actually caught this. Bye-bye.